if it's already been tested on. But which is that doesn't make sense to me though, because sometimes like two ingredients could interact differently. So I feel like they would have to test the interaction of the two ingredients also. Right. Which they do that because they want to make sure that it's safe for people, right? Right. Ironic.
But I don't know. I did a presentation on animal testing once, and
oh really?
Yeah.
For what class?
For a speech class once when I was a senior in high school. I don't remember a lot, but I remember some countries have laws that only, like, each ingredient has to have been tested on an animal, and then some say that the product itself has to have been tested, and I don't really know what the alternatives are, because if you can't really test something on a human, I don't know what the laws are with that.
Right. Well, I feel like if it's voluntary, it doesn't, but you're obviously not going to get many people that volunteer for that kind of stuff. They have to do things
like, and this is horrible, but they have to do things like put it in the eyeballs to see if it's going to irritate your eye, because if it's an eye product, you don't know, and it could blind you. They don't want to do that to a human. It's hard.
All these bad people are making it really hard for me to buy stuff.
I know.
Like, I love NARS lipstick, and I used to wear NARS foundation, and I found out that they test on animals, and I'm like, well, I don't know if I can't remember what it was. They don't test on animals, but like some of the ingredients products were tested on animals. So they can't put on their packaging, we don't test on animals. You know what I mean? Whatever they do makes it
But there are plenty of makeup brands now that are cruelty free.
Absolutely.
So now it's like a new standard, and I think a lot of the bigger brands need to shift their practices, because they've been shown it's possible. They gotta keep up,
And like people are like, I'm a weird example because I feel really strongly about that kind of stuff anyways, but like I feel like most people are getting more and more concerned with like ethical consumption. But it's not even just beauty products. I was reading an article the other day about how the CEO of Jimmy John's is like a big game hunter, and showed like pictures of him like holding up like a dead lion or a dead tiger, and like giving a thumbs up with a dead elephant. I'm like,
that's horrible. I don't know how people can do that these days, knowing how endangered some of those species are and how few of them are left in the wild. How can they contribute to that and feel okay about it just for their own sport?
Well, now that everyone's feeling strongly about that, there's people that are trying to take advantage of that. So I watch and read too many of these articles about like animal mistreatment, but I was just watching a video about white tigers and how there are breeders that are breeding. So their whiteness is not a breed. Oh. Like they're regular tigers, they're just white.
Okay.
It's like having the equivalent of like blonde hair or blue eyes. Like it's not like a breed. It's
so you can't make it happen. It just happens.
Right. So they're breeding these white tigers because they're using the excuse that they're endangered. They're not endangered, and they're not a breed. So it's like they're using, like if they posted on their website like, come visit our sanctuary of white tigers where we breed them back or like out of extinction. It's a lie, and they're using them. It's so hard. Like, why are there so many horrible people?
I don't know. This is kind of backtracking, but back when I thought that I was going to have a beauty brand and sell eyelashes for a while. That. Yeah, that didn't work out for a few reasons. Yeah, not relevant, but I thought that one of my products was going to be fake eyelashes because it's one of my favorite beauty products. And I had to decide, do I want to use mink lashes, which are really popular right now, but they're made from mink fur, and
which comes from
a mink.
Like that's an animal?
It's an animal. It's a small. I'll just show you a picture, but it's a little black animal with really soft fur.
Is it a rodent?
It might be a rodent.
Anyways,
it's like the size of a ferret, maybe a little bit bigger.
Okay. I think I know what you're talking about. Yeah. Yep.
So they don't have to kill the minks to get the fur, but they naturally shed. So they wait until they shed, and then they collect all of the fur because they will shed multiple times in their life, I believe. But so I could either do that or do synthetic, and mink is the trend right now. But I just did not feel right using an animal product like that, because even though they're not killing them, they're keeping them in living conditions that are probably
tiny ass cages, like crammed together.
And they're living their entire life in this cage, and they're probably I know with some animals, maybe not with a mink, but like with chickens, how they force feed them to make them fat,
so they have more fur. I've seen that about foxes before. They make like these mutant foxes so that they, like, if there's more surface area, there's more fur for it to cover or whatever. Yeah. It's so sad.
It's so sad, and it's just hard to know where to draw the line as a consumer. Also, when do you stop? What products do you not buy? It's a lot, and it takes a lot of research to know what's ethical and what's not. And then even then,
you don't know if you're really being lied to. Yeah. I mean, I think they're trying to, like, get more regulations, so they have to be more honest about, but, like, that's just United States. That's not everywhere. Right. So if you buy products from, like, outside of the United States, you don't know what you're really getting.
Yeah, and, like, with China, the regulations there are so lax. That's one of the things that makes sourcing from there so easy. Yeah. And so beneficial, because it's so cheap, and there aren't as many safety regulations and regulations about the ingredients. Whereas in the U.S. there are, and it would be a lot more expensive to get the same thing manufactured, because they have to be inspected along the way, and each factory has to have all these certifications. And there are import laws with materials you can have and you can't have, but so it's hard. It's like you want to take advantage of that and get the best price, but also know that you could be sacrificing quality and, like, even safety. It's a dilemma for sure.
I used to have this app on my phone where you could scan a barcode and it would tell you if the product has been tested on animals, and I literally went in my bathroom and scanned everything in there, and I think I found like 2 products that weren't tested on animals. Wow. Or I think some of them might have been like, they don't identify whether or not they test on animals, so, which probably means that they do. But it was like my Paul Mitchell shampoo or something was the only thing that didn't test, like, identified as not testing on animals. And I'm like, what the hell am I supposed to keep buying?
I know.
So, I told you about the 3-date spree I went on, right? Yes. So that was like the most dates I've ever gone on with a guy. And it sucks. Just online dating sucks in general.
Yeah.
And we're not 2 people that would know much about it, because I had a long-term boyfriend for most of my youth, and you've been with the same guy since the dawn of time, so...
We're not the best people
to know about that kind of stuff. No. But, like...
I mean, you've had some experiences.
Yeah, I mean, I've been on all those apps the kids are on these days. I think I have 3 now, because most of them started pissing me off. I think I have Tinder, Bumble, and something called Hinge, which is my favorite. I never use Tinder because the guys on there are always really creepy. And I don't like Bumble because I don't like messaging the guy first, because I'm too boring. I usually never have anything to say.
I would not know what to say either.
But it's such a weird concept, because, like, you essentially go on this date with the, like, presumption that you want to, like the other person. It's not like you meet them through mutual friends, get to know them as a person, and then decide if you, like, want to go out with them or something. It's like you go on this date and you're like, all right, right now I'm judging whether or not I like you enough to go on another date with you. It sucks. It sucks so much.
Yeah, I don't even know where I would begin if I was ever single. I really don't. It's got to be so difficult, and I'm just not that social of a person in the first place, so it's even harder.
Yeah, I usually don't really have any problem talking to them. I'm, like, a decently talkative person. Obviously, we're talking on a podcast right now, but I don't it's really hard to get to know, like, what a person's actually like based on one date. So normally I go on one date with them and then decide that I don't like them. Right. Because they're boring or they're douchebags or, I don't know.
And you don't have that layer of, like, they don't have to go through your friends and then your friends say, oh, they could be a good match. Right. You have no idea. And also, I feel like there's an expectation now with online dating a lot of times, which I don't know if it used to be this way also, but without the online dating apps. Yeah. But I think there's more of an expectation that something physical is going to come out.
Yes. Honesty is the best policy. Yeah. When it comes to that kind of stuff, because then there's no bullshit smoke screen when you're on the date. They know what's up. Yep. And what the deal is. But also, how do you feel about guys paying on dates? Like, do you think that should still be a thing? Do you think that it doesn't matter, or what?
I think it depends on the person, really, because I know people that would love to have a guy pay for them, and I also know people that would be offended if that was the expectation. For me, Colin and I have always split everything equally.
Yeah, but you guys are in a serious relationship, though.
Yeah, and we've been together since we were really young, so it's not like either of us have...
It's not been your money for a while.
No, but I don't know. I think there should be somewhat of a balance.
I like to think that I don't want the guy to pay. Like, I would like to think that I'd be like, oh yeah, he doesn't want to pay. That's great. He's respecting me as an equal. But then we get there and he doesn't offer, and I'm a little disappointed, which I kick myself for, because I'm like, why are you disappointed? Pay. You guys probably make, like, for the same age, we probably make, in similar fields, we probably make similar money, like, similar living situations. We're both living in the city. Why should I expect him to pay? Like, it's not like, unless I'm going out with some sugar daddy that's, like, rolls up in a Tesla or something, then I'll expect him to pay.
I think a good rule of thumb is whoever initiates the date should offer to pay.
But usually that's the guy, I feel like.
And if that's the case, then I think he should offer to pay. And if it's the girl, she should offer.
I've never offered. Ooh, maybe I should try that and see what happens.
Maybe.
I feel like the guy might be offended.
Well...
Like, he'd be like, or taken aback at like, least.
I mean, you can at least offer. He can say no. You guys can split it, but I don't know. I think that's a good rule of thumb. Whoever initiates the date, at least for the first date, and then take it from there. You can discuss. Yeah. I'm sorry.
But that's like what modern dating is now.
I know, and I just don't know what.
Because meet cutes don't happen in real life. Like, I don't drop a pile of books and someone picks it up for me, and it's like, it's nice to meet you. We talked about this in the Black Mirror episode. We were talking about how, like, you meet your if your barista is like a robot, but you meet the guy that's standing in line behind you or something. Even though everything's like being taken over technology and human connection is being reduced, like, we still have our shot.
That must have a role in it, that technology and reduced human face-to-face interaction. Because, when you think about it...
It definitely does.
Everyone's face is in their phone all the time. Yep. So how are you going to notice anyone or meet anyone in public when you're not?
Especially when that face that's always in your phone has resting bitch face 24/7 like me. And no one wants to approach you because you look like terrifying.
No, I don't think you look terrifying.
You know me.
Yeah.
You even said it yourself. Your friends, like, were afraid of me.
I don't know why.
I don't know why either. I have a friendly face, for those of you who don't know what I look like. I think so. But you know what I mean? Like, when I'm at the grocery store, I got my headphones in, just walking with my head down in the aisle. No opportunity for anyone, unless they're going to come up to me and tap me on the shoulder.
And that's how it is now, and it's just hard, which is sad. And I do think maybe our generation's starting a little bit to be aware of that and try to reduce it, but...
Yeah, people are definitely aware of it, but I don't know how much that's solving, you know what I mean? Okay. Should we do our conspiracy corner?
Sure.
Why did you say sure?
I just had deja vu, and I felt like we talked about simulation theory before, but we haven't.
We've mentioned it a few times.
Well, maybe that's part of the simulation.
So are you going to explain it?
Yeah.
Okay. So